Hi, welcome to the Created Life Collective. I'm here in our motorhome in the driver's seat, which is an unusual spot for me because I wanted to share with you a little issue we had today. It's always something, it feels like, with our motorhome. We love it. It's totally worth it, but little things come up. I could not find anything anywhere on Google today to help me in this situation, so I'm making a video. I feel like we must be the guinea pigs for all of these situations that have never happened to anybody else. All right, so let's get into it and tell you what happened to us. All right, so on our little keychain here, we have this little key tag. It's a part of an anti-theft protection program. And when we go to start our motorhome, we just take this key fob. I'll flip you around so you can see. And we pass it right in front of, when we purchased it, they said pass it in front of this little black dot, which I always thought was weird. It's kind of like a Velcro-y thing, but whatever. Pass it in front of there. It then allows you to start your vehicle. Put your keys in and start it. If you don't do that, your vehicle won't start. And again, that is for anti-theft. So, flip it back around here so you can see me. Okay, so today I tried to do that. No chirping, as you could see just now. No chirping. It's broken. Looked everywhere on Google. Couldn't find any fixes. Thought, okay, I'm going to call I couldn't even find anything about it. Call my RV dealer, who happens to be 250 miles away. There is no RV dealer anywhere close to us. Not that it would matter, because I can't start my vehicle anyway to get it to them to fix it or to tell me what's going on. But call General RV. I love them. Their service department is awesome. They totally rock. And they passed me around a little bit, but ultimately what happened is I got to the parts department. Ed, who is a lovely gentleman, said, I'm going to go talk straight to the service manager. I'll get your answer. He's been here for 30 years. I'll call you back. When he called back, he said, guess what? Our service manager, in all of his experience, has never, ever, ever seen anything like that on any motorhome. So it must be an aftermarket system. Great, because as you can see, it's old enough. We have a 2003. This is old enough that any kind of identification as to what company this might be is completely gone. So I had really no hints. I kind of tried to look under the dash, nothing with any name on it. So I decided to go to my best resource. If you have a motorhome and you ever think you might resell it, which you probably will at some point, this is a super beneficial thing for you to hear. So I have my handy dandy little, if you can see it, Winnebago Industries file folder here. I'm sure you probably all have something similar. It's a little bag inside. It has all of our paperwork, all of our manuals, all of our instructions for all of our appliances, just everything is in here. But the previous owners, and here's where I think is a good tip for you, they actually saved every single thing that they ever purchased. They put all of the receipts in here. I mean, the receipts are in here for tires, for every kind of service that was ever done to this while it was in their care, anything. So I thought, well, maybe there'll be something in there. And I pull out this little guy, what I thought, that's interesting. It says, who's watching your vehicle when you're not? Passport to protection. I open it up, because really there's nothing that says actually what it is. I open it up. And I see that our little key fob matches the little hole, in here so that it actually can. I know, it came in this box. Okay, there's a hint, there's a clue, right? Started looking, and found the name of the company, everything else, and thought, woohoo, even a customer service number. Called the customer service number. It's disconnected. Looked on everything I could. It's an RFID system, which is apparently some kind of radioactive thing. They use it in, even like your security system for your tags with clothing in a store, or, all of those things. They're an RFID system. So I don't even know what that stands for. But anyway, this company no longer in business that I can find under any name that's close to anything that was in any of this material. So that was no help. But I did find one little thing that talked about looking under the dash and wires and splicing and yada, yada, yada. And I thought, that's probably not a good thing, because I know nothing about that. Carl doesn't know a whole lot about any of that. And we can't take our motorhome to anyone who does know anything about it. And we don't happen to have any kind of like a mobile service in this area out here that would come out and deal with this. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to take the bull by the horns. I'm going to look for myself and see what is going on. So I'm going to show you. All right. So keep all of your seats, keep all of the stuff, put it in one place for future owners of your RV. They will thank you for that. There's tip number 1 of the day as I'm getting into position here to show you what's going on down here. So flip you around. All right, so here's the dashboard. Let's see, you can see what I'm looking at here. So I went and I looked up under here with a flashlight, and I mean, it was a bunch of wires. Nothing looked like it might be anything of use to me, but one thing looked out of place. And so I decided, in order to get it, I tried to reach up there with my fingers. Such a small, super hard to get into here, by the way. It was not fun. So I, took caution and I pulled down the dashboard here. I've already done it so that you could see. I wanted to be able to get into here. And I thought, you know what, this little guy right here looked out of place, and it was just sort of laying in here. And I thought, I wonder if at some point that was supposed to be, up further in here. And as I looked at it even more, there is actually some tape under here, back here, which is consistent with this Velcro. So as I looked at it, I thought, that's interesting. Right here you can see the other part of the Velcro. Oh, how interesting. So this had fallen down, so they match up perfectly. I'll stick that just right on there. And I'm hoping that you guys can see this. Now listen up. Did you hear that? That's the magic sound that says when I put my key in the ignition, it's going to start rather than lock down and beep and make all kinds of interesting noises. So what someone had done at some point was decided not to have this located here in this location, because obviously somebody would be able to see, oh, there's the anti-theft, right? So they took and they taped it. Back here, you can even still see the tape marks on here. So they just taped it behind here. And then that tape, over the years just came loose. This last trip that we were on or whatever, it fell down. And so it was no longer working. So anyway, so that's the fix. So I'm just going to put this right here because I don't really want that to happen again. And Carl and I will decide if we want to keep it there or what we want to do. But there's no reason not to keep it there. So anyway, and then you're just going to push this back in, make sure that this is in and push that back in. There's some little holes for these little tabs to go into. No big deal. I just pushed that down. So anyway, it took me the better part of an afternoon, several hours to try to figure out this situation. But obviously I didn't have any choice unless I wanted to just be stranded in my driveway for forever in my motorhome. And as much as I love to use my motorhome in my driveway, I really want to take it on some trips, and I'd really even like to take it somewhere. This weekend is Labor Day. We want to get out of town and do something fun, even if we just camp locally. We're not sure yet, but I'm sure you'll see us wherever it is that we are, wherever we decide to go. But anyway, so that was the fix. I know that doesn't seem like it was much of a fix, but honestly, sometimes you just have to be brave, pull a panel, start looking, start connecting the dots, so to speak, to try to figure out what your problem is. Whether that's in your RV, which happens to us a lot. We are chasing issues a lot, but just kind of start following the steps. It might even be in life, you guys, right? Do you ever feel like, something just shows up in your life and you're like, what the heck, how do I fix this? But if you start just kind of backtracking, being brave, pulling down the facade of things in your life and looking to see what's behind underneath, you can fix a lot of things. And you can find things that need fixing too. So anyway, that's my tip of the day. Because you know what? here at the Created Life Collective in our RV, it's always something. Have a great day.